Hey guys, Miss Rogers here. Today we're going to work on place value. So we're going to do like a review for place value. And place value is just a way of saying a number has a value or a number is represented by a value depending on where it's at and where it's located in a number. So in math class, when we talk about place value, you think of like ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and all that. In fourth grade, we work a lot with the thousands place value. So we do a lot with thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s. So here in a minute, we're going to look at a couple numbers and compare them. So when you're given two numbers and they want you to compare the numbers, you have to like know what to look for to be able to compare them. So you're going to have to like look at the place value and what each number represents to be able to know if the number is bigger, smaller, or the same as the other number. So let's look at a couple examples here. So if I give you the number 34,633, and I want you to compare that to 34,623. When you look at those two numbers, you're going to see they're very similar. There's only one place value that is different. So if we look at our numbers right here, the place value that is going to be different is the tens. And our first number, 34,633, my tens is a 3. Okay, so I'm just going to put this as my tens place. Okay. Over here with this number, 34,623, my tens is my 2. So the only number that is different in both of these numbers is my tens, or my tens place value. So when I look at these numbers, if I'm looking at 3 right here and 2 over here, I know 3 is bigger than 2. So my number 34,633 is going to be bigger than 34,623. Remember this little sign, this little guy, just tells you that's the greater than sign. So this is saying this number is greater than this one. Okay? So let's look at another example. That's going to be a little different. So if I give you the numbers 47,516, and this is where it's going to be a little tricky because I'm going to give you a couple numbers. 14,000 plus 1,674 plus 400. When I give you this, I want you to compare these numbers. So you look at this problem and you could be like, man, that's a lot of numbers. What do I need to do? Well, my left side, it already has the number. So I'm focusing on 47,516. My right side, what I'm going to have to do, where it has 3 sets of numbers that it wants you to add, you're going to have to add them to be able to figure out what the number is. So if I look right here, if I start in my ones place, and remember, your ones place is to the right. It's the number all the way to the right, okay? When we count numbers, remember you start in the right-hand side, okay, and your ones. So I have a 0 plus 4 plus 0. So that's just going to be 4. Then I have 0 plus 7 plus 0. That's just 7 because 7 plus 0 is 7. Then I have 0 plus 6 and 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4 is 10, so I'm going to put my 0 down here, carry my 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus this extra 6, okay? Then I'm just going to bring my 1 down, okay? Then you bring your comma after every third number. So I have 1, 2, 3. So my comma is going to come right after the 0 or right before the 6. So now my numbers that I'm going to compare are 47,516 and 16,074. Okay, so when I look at this number, automatically you can already tell which number is bigger. Obviously, the 47,000 number is bigger because in my thousands place value, I have 47,000. And over here, I only have 16,000. 47 is greater than 16, so my answer is going to be this way. 47,516 is greater than 16,074. Okay, all you had to do is like look in your thousands place values. So really, technically, you're looking at your 10,000s. So right here, and that told you that the 47,516 is greater. All right, so let's look at another example. Do one more, then we're going to do something different. So if I give you the numbers, since we're fourth grade and we did a lot with like hundreds, thousands, let's do a number like this. Okay, so my two numbers are 351,206 and 301,547. So when you look at this, you need to look at your place value, right? So in both numbers, in my hundreds, thousands, I have 3. Okay, so then let's go to our tens, thousands. I have a 5 over here and a 0 over here. Oh, I know 5 is greater than 0, so that automatically tells me my left-hand side number is greater. So 351,206 is greater than 301,547 because my 10,000s place value, my 5 is greater than 0. 5 is greater than 0, so my left-hand side number is greater. Now, since we're doing a review with place value, let's look at another thing that when you take tests or in a math class, your teacher probably has you do this all the time. So if I give you a number and I want you to round it to certain place values, you need to be able to know how to do that. So let me get my... Okay, so if I give you the number 345,283, okay, now I'm going to have you round it to 2 place values. Okay, so we're going to look at this number, and I want you to round it to the 10,000s and the hundreds. So when I look at this number, when I round, I need to look at that specific place value and the one to the right of it. So right up here, my number, if I'm going to round it to the 10,000s, I need to find out what value my 10,000s represent, or what number is in that place value. So I have my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So my 4 is in my 10,000s. But I'm not going to focus on the 4 because I need to see what number is behind that number to know if I have to round up or round down. So if I look to the right of this, I know a 5 is in my thousands place value. So the 5 is where I'm focusing on. And when we round, if you get to 5, you need to go to the next number. So you all know your little rounding hill where you have 5 right here, then 4, 3, 2, 1, then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When you get to 5, you need to round up. Okay, that's only rounding down, but you're going to round up. Okay? So, my number right here, where I have a 5 in the place value before the 10,000s, I'm going to round that up. So the way I do rounding with a big number like this, all this right back here, so from the 5 and over, all those are going to be zeros because we're just focusing on the 10,000s place value. So if I look right here, I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4 different zeros, okay? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to head and just putting my zeros down right here because the numbers I'm looking at is the number I'm rounding and the one before it. Okay, so now, if you see right here, I got my 3 zeros, okay, and then my 0 right here. We said we needed to round this up. So that 4 is going to be a 5 because you're going to round it up to the next number. So the number before, or the number after 4 is 5. So I'm going to put a 5 right here. Then the numbers to the left of the number that you're rounding is going to stay the same. So I'm just going to carry this 3 over here. So 345,284 rounded to the 10,000ths is 350,000. Okay? Now, let's look at rounding to the hundreds. Okay? So, ready? 1, 10, hundreds. So I'm going to look at this 2 right here. This number is the number I'm going to look at. So I'm going to round. So we need to look at the number that comes after, which is an 8. And if you look up here at your hill, right here, 8 is right here. 8 comes after 5, so we need to round up. Again, with my little trick that I did up here, I have one value that comes after the 8 that is going to be a 0. Okay? My 8's going to be a 0 because I'm focusing on the 2. So everything that comes after the 2 is all zeros. Okay? The number that is going to change is your 2 right here. All right? So if I'm rounding up, I need to go above 2. So one more than 2 is 3. So I'm going to bring my 3 over here, put my comma, and then these numbers right here are going to stay the same. So I'm just going to bring them over. 345,000. So 345,283 rounded to the hundredths place value is 345,300. All right. Rounding can be a little tricky when you have big numbers like this, since we are in 4th grade and we do a lot with thousands. So I know my class does a lot with like the hundreds, thousands, and rounding can be tricky for them. But all you have to do is remember your rules for rounding. Any number before 5, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, all round down. So you're going to do the number below that. So if I give you the number 3 and I tell you to round that, 3 is less than 5, so you're going to round that to the number below. If you are at number 6, 7, 8, and 9, you're going to round up. So from 5 on, you round up a number. So again, if I gave you the number 6 and I tell you to round, you're going to round that up, right? Rounding can be tricky, but if you remember your rules and you take it nice and slow, rounding can be a piece of cake. Right? I hope this video helped you all. Until next time, have a good day.